everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Jaleesa. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Today's video is a Christmas book haul, so I'm really excited to share with you guys all of the books that I got for Christmas this year. I have a lot of great books here on this book haul that I can't wait to read this year coming up in 2021. I can't wait. A lot of these are books that my best friends have gotten me that they have read before years and years ago and loved. Some of them are new books, new releases that I was really wanting for Christmas this year, and then some are books that I was completely surprised by and had no idea I was going to be getting because I didn't ask for them. They were not on a wish list or anything of the sort, so they're just true gifts and I'm really happy. But before I get into this video, of course, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so down below. And if you don't already follow me on Twitter or Instagram, which is actually a Bookstagram account, I will have those linked below in the description box. And everyone who gives me a book who is on YouTube will also be linked in the description box below. And so let's just get into the video. So this very first book that I got it today from my very best friend, like my best friend that I've been friends with since I was like 11 years old. So we've been friends for a very long time, 13 years to be exact. We have spent every Christmas together since we were children. And this is the first one we're not together, so it was very different, but we still did gifts. We just put them on each other's front porch, and that was it. I was not expecting her to give me a book, especially this book, because she knows me so well, but it's like sometimes I forget how well people know me. This first book that I'm going to show you guys is really exciting. It is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. It is a poetry book, and I just absolutely am so surprised that my best friend got this for me. I used to write poetry in college and I have since stopped, so for her to get this for me was really special. And the note says, hopefully you don't already have this, which I don't. Thought about you and one of my favorite things, the sun. Hope this poetry reminds you of how much light you hold and your glowing ability even in the toughest times. I love you so much. Now onto all the books that I got from either my booktube friends or my family. This first book, I actually don't know what it's about, so I'm about to find out, but I already know who got this for me. It came from one of my best friends in this booktube community, Christine, over at Editorial Edge. She loves this series. The first book is The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. It's my first Cassandra Clare book. I had never read anything from her before. I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy around one of her series. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's The Infernal Devices, I believe. Oh, this is The Infernal Devices. This is the series. This is Infernal Devices. Oh my gosh, I was getting confused with the Mortal Instruments. Let's read the gift note from Christine. It says, Merry Chaotic Christmases. Thank you, my darling. You're going to read Cassandra Clare books in 2021, and I'm starting you with the fave, so there's no excuse. LOL. I love you and happy holidays. Love, XOXO from Christine. Thank you, Christine. I love you so much, sis. I can't wait to read your favorite series. So, oh, what is this book even about? I didn't even tell you guys. I just showed y'all the book and was like, oh, Merry Christmas to me. Okay. It says, when Tessa Gray crosses the ocean to find her brother in Victorian England, something terrifying is waiting for her in London's downworld. Kidnapped by the mysterious Dark Sisters, who are members of a secret organization called the Pandemonium Club, Tessa soon learns that she has the power to transform into another person. Interesting. The Magister, the shadowy figure who runs the club, will stop at nothing to claim Tessa's power for his own. Friendless and hunted, Tessa takes refuge with the Shadow Hunters, warriors dedicated to riddling? What? That's not what this says. Warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons. She soon finds herself fascinated by and torn between two best friends, James and Will. As Tessa is drawn down into a plot that threatens to destroy the Shadow Hunters, she realizes that she may need to choose between saving her brother and helping her new friend save the world. And that love may be the most dangerous magic of all. Wow, okay. I had no clue what this book was about. I'm excited about this book. I can't wait to read it. Thank you for seeing so much. It's like I started reading Sarah J Maas and it just is never ending. So the next book is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Also, I don't know what this book is about. Honestly, between this book and The Clockwork Angel, I just feel like I'm about to be immersed in like worlds that I just never thought I'd be reading about before. I'm excited to read these books. Let's read the gift note from my friend Mel. It says, Merry Christmas, Angel. I tried getting you Akamoff because, well, we know it's my fave. But when I saw Throne of Glass in there, I knew I had to. Thank you for always being there. I love you, from Mel. I love you so much, Melonball. Thank you for buying this for me. I can't wait. Like, honestly, the way Mel and Sarah J Maas have wrecked me the past like 4 months, I just don't even know what to do with myself. So this next book that I got is from my sister Jasmine. Oddly enough, I've never read it, which is so crazy to me. I love Greek mythology. I think it's just so fascinating. She bought me Lightning Thief, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan, and I'm so excited to read this book. And he is half god, half mortal. The lightning bolt has been stolen from Mount Olympus. Percy Jackson has to really embark on this journey with his friends to find the lightning bolt to return it to Zeus into Mount Olympus. And I just already know that the movie was so amazing, so I just know reading it on paper one is going to be even more vivid, even more exciting, and way more fun. One of the things I love about the fact that I'm reading books that have already been out for so long, I didn't have these books in my childhood. I didn't read these in my childhood, so I'm kind of like stepping back into a young place where I can enjoy stories like these, and I mean, I'm not mad about it at all. The next book is actually a romance. I know y'all probably thinking like, am I ever gonna read a romance book ever again in my life? I am, and the next one I'm gonna be reading actually is Roomies by Christina Lauren, which my parents bought me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. They have a gift note for me. It says, Merry Christmas from Mom and Dad. So thanks you guys. I love you guys so, so much. So Roomies by Christina Lauren is actually gonna be my first Christina Lauren book that I've ever read. And I have actually never read a Marriage of Convenience book before. So this will be the first one of its kind for me. But this book follows Holland and Calvin. Holland has this crush on this guy, Calvin, who plays music in the subway station. And she doesn't tell him obviously how she feels, but one night some kind of attack happens on Holland and Calvin rescues her and saves her. Well, she wants to pay the guy back, but he just disappears. And so as fate would have it, Holland's uncle actually works in Broadway. She gets Calvin and audition with her uncle, and lo and behold, of course, he wants to work with Calvin. Problem, however, is that Calvin is there illegally. She gets this grand idea to marry Calvin without telling him that she's actually very much infatuated with him. So I'm really stoked to read this book. The next book is also a Christina Lauren book, which my parents also bought me. And again, everyone on BookTube has raved about this book. I mean, people who don't even read romances have read it and liked it. And that book is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've heard that this book is funny. I've heard that it's steamy. So this book is actually a book that I have kind of known a little bit about for a while. This book follows Olive and Ethan. So Olive's sister Amy is actually about to get married. Her entire wedding party gets sick from food poisoning. They had a honeymoon planned in Maui for 10 days. Of course, with her wedding party being sick, including her and her fiance, they cannot go. So Ethan decides to go to the honeymoon, but of course Olive is like, you're not gonna go by yourself and have a great time, so I'm gonna go with you. Her and Ethan actually go to Maui together for 10 whole days. Of course, at some point, Olive and Ethan will not be pretending anymore, and those emotions and those feelings will become very real for them. And I forgot to mention with this book, oops, that Olive actually knows Ethan because he is the best man, and I don't think the two of them actually like each other at all. I think they don't get along, so I guess we're looking at kind of an enemies to lover situation here, and so I have very high hopes for this book being amazing. So the next book on my list is the last romance in this book haul, which is a big shock to me and you both. But the book is Say You Used to Love Me by K.A. Tucker. So this book follows Piper and Kyle. Piper is a 29-year-old woman. She is a VP at her dad's real estate company. Then this guy, Kyle, from her past, comes and is hired on at her dad's job as a security guard. When Kyle gets the job, he acts like he doesn't know her. So she is feeling like his feelings for her are coming back over time, and she's committed to making him admit his feelings for her. And this just sounds like childhood friends to lovers. And according to this book as well, Kyle is the kind of guy who comes from the wrong side of the train tracks. I hate that saying, but like, I get what you're trying to say. My hope with this book is that it does dive into how you can change from a child to an adult, how that doesn't define the kind of person that you become. The next book that I got has been a popular book on BookTube. It came out this year. I was planning to read it, but of course I put it on my wish list, just kind of like a thing where like, don't forget about it, but you know, you want to get it eventually. And I'm super thankful that Sydney got this book for me because she's the best. This is from Sid's Bookworm. I will have her channel linked below as well. The book that Sydney got me is Cinderella's Dead by Kaylin Byron. It's been 200 years since Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is over. Now, teen girls are required to appear at the annual ball, where the men of the kingdom select wives based on a girl's display of finery. If a suitable match is not found, the girls not chosen are never heard from again. 16-year-old Sophia would much rather marry Aaron, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes a desperate decision to flee and finds herself hiding in Cinderella's mausoleum. There, she meets Constance, the last known descendant of Cinderella, and her stepsisters. Together, they vow to bring down the king once and for all, and in the process, they learn that there's much more to Cinderella's story than they ever knew. This fresh take on a classic tale will make readers question what they've always been told about happily ever after and root for the girls to break down the constructs of the world around them. This sounds very like it'll be a fairy tale retelling, but also tackle some really important real life topics. I love this. I mean, the idea of having to be married off, and if you don't find like a perfect match, you just disappear. That doesn't sound very nice or very good at all, so I'm not here for that. But I am here for this book. Let's read Sydney's note though, because I have to read it. Sydney says, I love this book so much and I love you so much. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I hope your holiday season is cozy and relaxing, baby. From Sid. Thank you, Sid, baby. I love you so much. My girl Kristen loves this book so much. I know she gifted it to me because all my friends gifted me their favorite books because they knew that I would love them, and so I'm really excited that she got me Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I think it deals with something about like technology, and like Scythe can see everything, like an eagle eye type of situation, but let's read it and find out because I don't remember. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now Scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a Scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. Scythe is the debut of a thrilling new series by National Book Award winning author Neil Shusterman, in which Citra and Rowan learn that a perfect world comes only with a heavy price. Okay, so I was a little off track. Wow, so a world with no disease, no sickness, no war, no misery. I mean, that does sound really good, right? But it doesn't sound so good when you have to be a Scythe. I've heard nothing but stellar reviews about Scythe. Everyone who's read it has literally loved it. I have not heard a single bad thing about this book, like not one. The only thing I've heard is that the last two books are not as good as the first one, but that's totally fine. Let's read Kristen's note. It says, sis, you know I had to give you Scythe, OMG, OMG. I'm so excited for you to read this one. Merry Christmas, my love. You are such a special and necessary light in my life. I'm so happy we met this year. From Kristen, aka Crispy. Thank you so much, Crispy. I am so thankful for you. Oh my gosh, you guys. The next book I got is from my parents, is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis, and I am so excited to read this book. First of all, I have never read a circus themed book in my life, but people have loved this book and I'm so thrilled to read it. So this book I know is again circus themed, but we're gonna read the synopsis because it's kind of a lot to unpack here, and I don't want to just be saying anything and be like super wrong, okay? In a city covered in ice and ruin, a group of magicians face off in a daring game of magical feats to find the next headliner of the conquering circus. Fame and glory await the winner, but no contestant is safe when an unseen danger begins striking behind the scenes. Accidents, injuries, missing magicians. Though each act grows riskier, the show must go on, and the three entangled within the dark heart of it will do whatever it takes to keep their secrets from rising to the surface. The star, Kalia, a powerful showgirl out to prove she's the best no matter the cost. The master, Jack, the enigmatic keeper of the club and more than one lie told. The magician, DeMarco, the brooding judge haunted by a past he can no longer hide. Little do they know, on a stage where love, lies, and illusion collide, nothing ever escapes the spotlight, especially in a game with no way out. So I'm excited. This is actually a duology. I just know this book will be magical. No pun intended. Actually, pun definitely intended. I just know that I'm about to have such an interesting reading month, like in January. I'm just branching out with like genres and content, and so I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. Like, I think I'm really gonna love it. I'm just ready to have an open mind and just read a bunch of books next year that are just gonna wow me. So the last book on my book haul, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and this book again was also gifted to me by my parents, so thank you guys so much. Again, another BookTube favorite, another book Twitter favorite. This book has been just blowing up. I know that it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling based in Shanghai in 1926, and I know that it follows Julia and Roma and two gangs, the Scarlet Gang and the White Flowers, which I believe that Juliet is actually the heir to the Scarlet Gang, whereas Romeo actually is a part of the White Flowers. These two gangs, you know, they're rival gangs. There's some evil lurking that is going to require Julia and Roma to work together. It sounds like two enemies having to work together. I do know that also Julia was in love with Roma back in the day. She's 18, and it's just going to be an interesting read. Books set in different places in different countries, especially places that I have never been to, always intrigue me so much because I have traveled a lot. I've traveled to many places and I've seen so much culture that is just so beautiful, and I think that when we get books like these that embed that culture in these fictional books, it makes them just that much more compelling, that much more enriching. I just want to say, yes, I'm about to get sappy. I just want to say a humongous thank you to not only my family and my friends who bought me books, but anyone who has watched my channel, anyone who has taken the time to listen to me talk about books that I have read or am going to read. Never, ever in a million years did I think I would be doing this. If it wasn't for quarantine, if it wasn't for what's been going on in the world, I would have never taken the time to sit down and create this channel. I cannot say enough how grateful I am for this community because I've learned so much from you guys. Outside of just books, I've literally made friends who I just know will be my friends for years to come, and I would have never met them had I never gone on BookTube. Never met them. And so I'm eternally and just so deeply grateful and so thankful to all of you who watch my channel, who talk to me, who interact with me, who read with me, who just are here with me and for me. I am also here with you and for you, and I just hope as we go into 2021, this community continues to grow in the best of ways, and that we continue to just help one another and not tear each other down, because oh my gosh, there's enough of that everywhere. And when I tell you guys, I am so big on just like being good and being there for people, just have a loving heart. That's all I ask. That's all I say. Just have a loving heart and everything else will come. But I want to thank you guys again because I'm just rambling now and talking about stuff, and I'm gonna get real sappy real soon. So let me just be quiet. Let me just be quiet and say a big thank you once again to all of you. I hope that you have a great new year, and I will see you guys in my very next video. Yes, bye.